everybody and welcome back. My name's Alison, the online piano and the online violin tutor. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison video between the Cecilio CVN100 and the Cecilio CVN200. I've done individual reviews on these and they will be in the description bar directly underneath this video. I have no other hands left to point that to you, but there will be an annotation coming up now. So if you go underneath the description, in the description bar underneath, you'll see all the links to all of that, the links to where you can buy them, so I've done all the hard work for you. So this is a Cecilio CVN100 and this is the CVN200. So if I just start by saying that roughly on Amazon at the time this went on air, this was retailing for about $95, which is the 100, and the 200 was retailing for about 105. The prices slightly change day by day, all the time anyway, but they're kind of within a few dollars or so. So there's only about $10 or so between the two of them. I suppose there isn't really an awful lot of difference with them. This one's the 200 is slightly redder in colour. This one is a similar kind of looking wood, but it's a slightly darker shade by the looks of it as well. If I can sort of turn these round, the 200, which is this one, it has a one-piece back, and the 100 has a two-piece back that you have there. The other difference is that this has boxwood tailpiece and chin rest and the pegs as well, and the 100 is all ebony fitted, so it's all black there. They both have D'Addario Prelude strings. I'm going to play them both in a second. So they are the main differences. They've both got hand inlaid perfing, they've both got a varnish finish to them, and in terms of how they look, I would probably say that the 200 has a slightly better finish to it. Although I'm not so keen on the colour of the 200, I do prefer the colour of the 100. The 200 has a slightly better finish to it. That's not to say that this has a scrappy finish, it doesn't by any means at all, but this one probably just looks just a little bit sleeker. The one thing I do like on the 200 as well is that you have nickel plated fine tuners, which you have so that you can tune the strings with. This one doesn't, and to be honest, they aren't quite as nice on the 100. So the 200 is better for the fine tuners. If you can see them there, they automatically they look a lot better. So this is the CVN100 that I'm going to play. I'm going to play the CVN200 in just a second. I'm going to play exactly the same song so you can hear the difference with them. I'm not sure how much the microphone's going to pick up, but I'll be able to tell you what I hear anyway. CVN200. So that was Country Stroll that I was playing out of my great violin book. The link, if you want to have a look at that sheet music, is directly underneath in this video. So the first one I played was the CVN100, the second time was the CVN200. Depending on obviously on what the camera picked out, I'm not quite sure. But I can tell you what I heard from in the room. I think that the CVN200 probably, or hopefully it came across a little bit louder. This does seem to be a little bit louder and a little bit brighter. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. This has a little bit more of a, the 100 has a more of a softer, mellowy kind of feel to it. This one has a brighter, but I'd say it's probably a little bit more tinny. If I'm perfectly honest, hearing them side by side and playing them, the playing experience I'd probably say is pretty much the same. They don't really feel an awful lot of difference. I suppose the 100 would ever so slightly clinch it for me, just because in my hand the 100 feels just a little bit lighter than the 200. The 200 does feel a bit I don't know, just I can't think of the right word, but a little bit more weighty to it. This one feels a little bit more slender, a little bit sleeker for some reason. But I don't, it's strange because they're both exactly the same. So the 200 isn't necessarily as heavy, but I mean it could be a number of things. It could be, you know, it could be the nickel plated tuners, it could be the accessories, and everything like that is weighting it down. In terms of the tone, I prefer the tone of the 100 just because it's a little bit softer, it's a little bit more mellower. If you were playing with other people, the 100 would blend in a little bit more, but if you were playing solo, I mean, you've still got plenty of volume left on this, but for me, this one's just a little bit too brazen, I guess. It's almost like somebody's taken the low frequency out of this and they've just turned it all the way up to high, so you've only got the high end kind of pitch in this. This one's somewhere in the middle, so there's a little bit of bass, there's a little bit of high end, but there's just a little, it's pretty much in the middle. So therefore I'd probably describe it as softer and mellower. This one for me is a little bit too tinny. If I'm comparing the two side by side, there isn't really an awful lot of money difference in it, but if I had to pick one, I would probably go with CVN100. It'll save yourself a few dollars, not very much money, but you know, it's a nice little starter violin. If you wanted to spend the extra money and get the extra details, you could buy the 200. Like I said, for this you are getting a slightly nicer finish. The tuning is probably slightly nicer on this one because you've got the nickel plated tuners, so they do tend to hold their tune quite well. It doesn't look a bad instrument, it's just my personal preference. I'm not hugely keen on the colour and I prefer this one. So they both do their job, but I guess if I had to absolutely pick one, yes, it would be the CVN100. So there we go. Don't forget to check in the description bar underneath all the other videos and reviews and comparisons and that kind of thing. I hope this has helped you make a decision yourself and all that kind of thing. And I shall see you in the next video.